So this I say, as we pray, the time's come at last. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Simmy and Jimmy's Treehouse, your favorite I'm Coming Home podcast. That's right, because today my special guest is a singer, songwriter, rapper, voice-over artist by the name of Brad Dassey. You might know him from his hit song, I'm Coming Home, that I famously listened to on repeat for 24 hours on a live stream. And now here he is with me up in my treehouse. Brad, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's nice up here.
Yeah. How do you like the digs? You know, I got a new couch up here. I got some Puerto Rican men to help me carry it up my treehouse ladder, and I think it really it brings the room alive a little bit.
Yes, those women picture posters look really nice up there.
Yeah,
I think that chick is
got a lot of centerfold bikini photos up on the walls. You know how it is.
Yeah, man, I love it. Great, nice breeze coming through.
Well, Brad, I think the question on everybody's mind is: have you seen the new Beavis and Butthead movie?
Actually, yes, I just saw it last night.
Oh, good, because if I recall, you do perhaps the best Beavis and Butthead impression of anybody I've ever met.
No. Yeah. I have to say that I was slightly disappointed. I thought the first one was far better, but there were some scenes in the second one that I thought were pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoy both the movies.
Yeah, I felt like the first one had more thought and more plan, and the second one's just like running around doing whatever and just blah. I don't know.
Well, maybe. Oh, go ahead.
The nacho scene was awesome, though. I loved it when the nachos everywhere.
Yeah, I felt them on that one. I do enjoy nacho cheese more than any other cheese. Brad, I think, in case anybody at home is not aware of our deep lore, maybe we should explain how we got to know each other all the way back when I was a young man. A young teenage man living at my parents' home. I was probably 14 at the time.
Dang, that's awesome. I didn't realize it was that early. But
it's been a long, long time. Basically,
yes.
You put up a song on your YouTube channel, the I'm Coming Home song, and I discovered it on a website called 4chan. I don't know who posted it, but somebody was like, hey guys, check this out. And people were being, kind of harsh and mean about it. They didn't really understand the song, or they didn't appreciate it the way that I think a lot of us do. And truth be told, I actually really loved the song, and I've listened to it literally probably more than you have at this point. So one way or another, we got into contact, and I gave you my parents' address, and you would like send me, Christmas cards and stuff. And my parents were very confused why some random man from Wisconsin, I believe, was sending their teenage son like Christian music albums and stuff in the mail. But we've, from time to time, we've kept in contact after the decades, and here we are today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, are you still coming home yet? Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the reception to that song? Because I feel like it was overly negative to begin, but I think it's had a resurrection, to put it in Christian terms.
Well, I don't know. When I started making music, like, forever ago, I had created some music, and that was it. And then I'm like, well, what do I write to it? So anyway, at the time I was living by myself and I didn't have kids. And so I had to get my car fixed this one time, and they said it was going to take like 3 or 4 hours, and I'm like, holy can we swear on this channel?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do for 3 or 4 hours? I don't have a ride, and I don't have friends. So I sat there and I brought the music with me on my MP3 player, and I just repeatedly listened to it again and again for like a half hour straight. And I don't know, like the lyrics just came out of nowhere. And so I wrote that whole thing in probably, less than 3 hours, but I was excited to get home after my car was fixed and start recording it. So I recorded the I'm Coming Home. I was belting it out at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and my neighbors upstairs, normally they're playing like bass guitar and shit all hours of the day and night anyway. I didn't care. He didn't care how fucking loud I was, and I didn't care how loud he was. So I came in and the vibe was there, and I'm just going to rip it out and just see what happens.
So there were two musician neighbors who were competing to see who could be the most annoying in the neighborhood by being as loud as possible?
Yeah, no, not really. We were just really cool with each other.
Oh.
So I was actually homeless, living in my office. So I had a computer shop and an ink refill business. I filled ink cartridges. And so I was living with my buddy Kurt at the time, but then he was getting married, and he's like, well, my wife doesn't want you to still live here because, she's going to be moving in, and then we're going to be finding another place. So
isn't that the story as old as time? Male friendships being ruined by a Yoko Ono of sorts, just coming in to fuck everything up?
Yeah, it really sucks. So, like, I didn't have anywhere to go, and I was broke as fuck. And so I'm like, well, I guess we're going to be living in my back office. So I lived there for about 3 years, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it was scary at first because obviously living in a fucking building, that didn't have a stove or anything, but I had a fridge and I had a gym membership, so I was always going to the gym to take my showers and stuff, so I wasn't like fucking scrubby or nothing. And just kind of made it work, kind of made it home. And so that's where I wrote that song.
Are you telling me the song's not about going to heaven, but actually literally going to your home?
Yeah, it's about going to heaven.
Okay, good. Because, I mean,
it is.
The original version is dedicated to Marlene Glish, your grandmother, and, I think it's really touching.
Yeah, it is. She taught me about music when I was a kid, and she had a huge-ass organ. That thing took up half her bedroom.
Oh, shit.
And so, yeah, it was a double panel, and so I remember playing on that as a kid, and she used to be a music teacher. And so she'd play chords and stuff and try to teach me how to play chords. And that's kind of how I started getting in the music thing. And then I got a Casio keyboard way back when I was like 8. I'm 8.5 now. Just kidding. I'm just fucking 38 now.
You're 38 now. You're pushing 40. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Yeah, it sucks, man. It's not scary. It's just getting old sucks because I'm waking up with fucking bones cracking and shit.
Well, I'm 3 years away from turning 30, so what advice do you have for an up-and-coming 30-year-old? Does 30 change your life?
Yeah, it just feels like the same. Yeah. You just, sit on the couch and have nachos, and you're like, here I am. I'm 30.
So that's your advice? I should just become a couch potato and eat nachos? Because that sounds like good advice to me. I think I might follow through.
Well, just for that one day. Yeah, you don't want to...
Oh, just on the birthday.
Just on your birthday, just sit there and realize you're 30 and have some nachos and just bask in the reality of being 30.
And it's a good reality, or is it terrifying to no longer be in your, the roaring 20s, as they call them?
Yeah, roaring 20s. I don't know. I don't remember when I turned 30. It wasn't like the
Are you
coolest.
blackout drunk?
It was like boring.
Oh.
Yeah, because we were like trying to score, and like Butthead kept scaring away all the women. Yeah. No, I wasn't, you dumbass.
Wait, so
I don't know.
in the modern day, then I assume you now have a home, right?
Yeah, I live in an apartment. I'm in Oshkosh. Been here almost 4 years.
So what is the? You've made a great rap song about. I think it's called "Struggle." It's a real struggle, just trying to live. Did you write that at the same time when you were living out of your office?
Yes, actually, I did. Struggling. That was in I think 2011. But yeah, I was going through some struggles. In the first line, "Eating out of cans." That's basically how it started, because I was, I didn't have a stove or nothing. I had a microwave, but you're only limited on what you can make and eat. So half the time I would try to eat. It was cool because I would try to eat like healthier things like corn and peas and like potatoes, shit out of cans, So it wasn't like I was eating bad freaking sodium heavily fucking,
Yeah, the kind of shit that I've been eating every day. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because you just feel tired all the time.
Is that why I feel like shit every day? Oh, damn it. I got to start eating healthier food? God damn it.
Well, the more saturated, the more sodium and shit in there, it's, it really tires you out.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would explain a lot. I recently have become popcorn pilled. I found out there's a product called Flavacol, and if you add it to your popcorn, when you make it at home, it makes it taste just as good as movie theater popcorn. And I was looking at the nutritional information, and it says the recommended serving, so just one serving for one person, is 120% of your daily sodium. So every time I eat popcorn, I'm basically just like gonna commit a Hiroshima on my insides.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so delicious. I don't know if I can stop, even for the sake of my own health.
I know. I'm stuck on Red Bull, dude. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I love Red Bull.
I can't get away from it. There's a place called Valley Popcorn over here, and they have the absolute best popcorn ever. I have a bag right here, and it's got butter flavor with sea salt.
Oh man!
Lately, I think they've been stingy on the fucking butter flavor because the shit is dry now. It's like, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I feel like everybody, like every corporation, is being extra stingy lately. They're making the price go up and the quality go down.
Yeah, it sucks. Inflation bullshit.
Well, so let's get the inspirational part of the story then, because you're literally a starving artist. You're more or less homeless. What actions did you take to get out of that situation?
So I don't really remember. I think I was saving up to get an apartment, and so I think that I don't remember the whole aspect of everything, but yeah, I was living there for a little while, and then there was a bar across the street, and the lady had put in, I don't know, she must have made up some big story about something, and so the building inspector came in and then found out I was living there, and then
oh, is that against the rules?
Yeah, I guess, because it wasn't classified as a residential spot, even though upstairs was. My business wasn't. So they said they were condemning the building and blah, blah, blah. And the building is still there, actually. It actually got completely renovated, and now there's like all these really cool, top-notch businesses and things, like this huge cooking shop and store in there and all this and that. So it was pretty cool. I mean, when I go by and look at it, I'm like, this doesn't even look like what the hell it was. It was like, holy shit, complete transformation and gutted out and everything. So, but
that just seems like unnecessary cruelty, like kicking a man while he's down, saying, oh, you're homeless, but you technically are sleeping in a building that I assume you're paying for, but that's against the rules arbitrarily. Let's kick him out.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's so stupid.
I wasn't causing any problems or nothing. I wasn't loud, and you couldn't hear my music outside the building either. So I think the bitch across the street just, she, you know, Mrs. Trunchbull from Matilda, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
She's basically like her.
Fucking old ass bitch who just doesn't like anyone and causes all these trouble, you know, all these issues, and just and honestly, she's just like a fucking female Scrooge.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. One day I decided to give her my music too, and I think after that she just became shitty.
That was the last straw.
I don't know what the fuck. I just walked up to her and it looked like she was having a shitty day, and I'm just like, hey, you know, I do some really nice music, and I think I'm Coming Home was actually on it too. So maybe she fucking kicked me out because that wasn't really my home. I don't know.
Maybe your mixtape was so fire that it burned down her home.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, shortly after that, she had to get out of the bar business. I don't know if I think she sold the bar or something happened to it, and it just, nobody was there. So fucking karma came back and got her in the ass.
That's right. Hopefully now she's the homeless one.
I don't know. You know, I always treated her nicely, and I always said hi when I saw her across the street. We were never friends or anything, but I never fucking did anything wrong. So I don't know, dude. Anyway, they never ended up condemning the building. It was re-renovated to some other people, and so who knows? But, you know, it's not like the building was the best either. I remember one winter my my furnace went out. My furnace went out in the middle of winter. Fucking
in the Wisconsin winter. Like what's that, like negative 10 degrees out?
Yeah, it can get to be negative 30 to negative 40 sometimes. So
how did you survive that?
I don't know. I had like 20 blankets on, and I'm sitting here fucking freezing like hell. And I'm like, it was probably fucking warmer outside. So, anyway, I'm sitting there shivering, waiting for the furnace dude to show up, and it took like 5 hours. And I'm like, fuck, dude, this is terrible. I can't deal with this. Which reminds me of my old car, too. The heat went out in the winter one time, too, and it was freezing as hell. Holy fuck. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it was just pretty ridiculous that I got kicked out, but it was still quite an adventure. And so a lot of the lines in the Struggling song kind of revolve around that and what I was feeling at the time, and it was kind of like a struggle, but it was kind of like trying to, you know, survive, like in the wilderness. You know, you gotta come up with certain routines and things to try to keep things going. So like out in the wilderness, you got your certain routine, but living in a fucking business, you know, you got to find your routines there too. And so it just became kind of a natural thing. And then it just, I don't know, I turned it into a home.
Well,
for the time being.
I know that you are a Christian man. Did you ever try to like get help from the clergy or like go to your church and, you know, don't they help homeless people?
No, I didn't really have a home church at that time. So, yeah, I was going to this mega church, which they could seat like 1,000 people a service. And then they were talking about how they had to renovate and make a bigger space so they could seat 3,000 people.
Oh my God. I guess
like,
no pun intended.
Yeah, I know. So then, I don't know, and some weird spiritual stuff was going on.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like, with me. So,
oh, I thought there was like a ghost in the church or something. I was like, hold on.
No, I felt like the Lord was telling me that I'm supposed to tell the church that they were greedy and that, you know, it didn't make sense. So I don't know. At that time, I was like screaming out in the middle of service, like in front of everybody. And I don't really remember it. I just remember, I think the Holy Spirit just kind of came over me and I just blurted out what I did. And then the next day the church was like coming after me, like, what the hell was that all about?
You got excommunicated?
Yeah, I was just like, okay, well, they were trying to meet up with me and the guy was completely rude and shitty about it. And like, God told me this was going to happen anyway. Like, they were going to meet me at some place and the guy was going to end up getting up in front of me and like walking out and cutting me off and like just very rudely. And that did happen. I'm like, it was the most insane thing, dude. So I just never went back to that place.
Yeah, I've never been to a mega church. I've always just gone to the, small community churches. And the impression that they give me is that they treat religion more like a corporation or a business, and they really just want to treat the people more like cattle and less like individuals. Do you have any like more details about that experience?
Yeah, well, I kept continuing to say that I didn't feel connected there, and I have all these skills with mixing music and soundboards and stuff like that, and I really wanted to get involved somewhere or a small group of some sort, and they kept on like ignoring me, and I'm just like, well, I don't really feel connected here either. So I don't know, it was really some of the weirdest times, but I feel like the Lord was using me to spread a message to people there, and all I felt was greed, complete greed.
Yeah, why would a fucking preacher ever need a private jet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, there's no way God would be okay with that shit.
Yeah, they need their own personal limos too,
Yeah, they think that they're like mega celebrities, when really they should just be the mouthpiece for the Lord.
I know, like, I don't know. I think pastors and preachers, honestly, they shouldn't be living above their means like they're some rich, crazy fool, like living in Hollywood kind of deal. Like Joel Osteen, that guy, for instance, man, I tell you, I don't know. I heard some stories on Google and things about him and
what kind of stories? What's he been up to? He's flying out to Epstein's Island?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was quite a while ago. I don't really follow that guy, but it's just like, why do you need 5,000 people in a service? Like, this? It's just crazy, Yeah.
I bet those potlucks, though, they've got to be crazy.
I know.
5,000 people bringing in the same, corned beef hash or whatever.
Bringing in stone soup.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Do they even do church potlucks anymore, or did they cancel that when COVID happened?
Yeah, I think the smaller ones. I don't know. I don't know for sure because I haven't gone. This last church I was going to for the last 8 years, they've been super cool, and I've been helping out with the sound and everything. But there was just kind of some uneasy stuff going on with one or two specific people, and I'm just like, I don't really believe in this shit anymore, dude. Because it's just.
You don't believe in that church or something else?
Yeah, like the way that they were just so fake, and they lied. Like, there was one specific person in particular, and I won't mention any names, but it's like they got to sit there and be like, well, hey, you're, and I know I'm good at what I do, and as far as like mixing live sound, and I'm amazing because I've heard a lot of people come up and tell me. And they've told me too, like, I'm really good at it. But on days where they can't find anybody else to do the sound and they want to just talk you up, like, oh, we got to have our best guy on this, or everybody's out of town for Easter and we got to get Brad on it. And like, I don't know, just when I kept saying no, they just kept trying to fucking push the envelope and trying to get me to still do it. And like, we want you to do sound even more, when I'm like, well, shit. Okay, so it takes up a lot of your time to come in just to do it once. So you got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday and then come in by 6:30, have all the shit on, be ready by 7. Then you're there all morning running both services, and you're not getting home until like 12:30 in the afternoon.
Do they offer you a cut of the donations?
No.
It's all for free?
It's all
6 hours of working for free?
I know. And then, and so I did that for like 3.5 years. And
oh my God.
That wasn't even really the thing of it. I mean, on Wednesday nights, you do rehearsal for 2.5 hours there. So, yeah, you're almost dedicating 10 hours of your week just for that, which I didn't mind it. But when I got suspicious about certain things they would tell me and the way they were acting and shit, I started going to some other people on the worship team, and they confirmed all my shit that I was thinking about. It was real. Like, the guy seems like a narcissist. Yeah. Like, big time. And then I caught him in a couple lies too, and I finally stuck it to his ass, and I told him, I said, this is just not the way it should be. And then, oh, no, it was a misunderstanding, and there was a miscommunication. Let's talk about it. And fucking miscommunication, my ass, dude. You knew exactly what you were doing. There was no miscommunication at all. It was perfect setup for you to try to take advantage of my bullshit and just try to lie to me. And there's just a lot of things, dude. And on the last day that I said I was going to be done, the guy comes up and pats me real hard on the back, and in the middle of service, he's like, "So this is it, man. Like, this is going to be your last note mixing here. How do you feel about that?" In the middle of a fucking service.
In front of everybody?
Yeah, well, nobody heard because the music was really loud, but, like, you're distracting my mixing right now. Like, this isn't like service is over and now you come up and say something.
Yeah, he's being really passive-aggressive when you're trying to focus.
In the middle of my mixing.
Right.
So I'm just... And then it wasn't even the last song anyway. It was the second to last song. But then he made some comments about some football player quitting. And I'm just, I wonder how he felt when he quit. And this is so childish of a guy to come up and do this to you while you're in the middle of concentrating on mixing the sound. And it's not just a guitar and like, a singer. It's like a 10-piece band. So you got a whole drum kit of 5 or 6 channels with your kick drum and your snare and your overheads and the whole shit. And then you got 3 vocalists and you got 2 electric guitars and you got bass. You got the whole fucking thing, dude.
Are all of the musicians performing for free as well?
That thing I don't really know. I'm assuming they were, but what are they doing with all the donations if they're not paying the people who are putting on the show? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just going in the preacher's pocket?
No, I don't believe it is. That church was very honest with a lot of things, and they did help me with bills and stuff in the past.
Oh, good.
One time they gave me like $500 towards Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, when I speak for the church, I'm not talking about the whole church. I'm just talking about the one individual or the 2 people that were treating me the way they were. And so they don't represent the entire church of everybody, but, they're just sound and video people and whatever. But it's just like, and then the dude was like delegating a lot of projects on me. Like, I'm sure that dude gets paid a hefty amount because he just had a lot going on and just couldn't handle everything. So then, I don't know, just the fake way that they pretend, like that he pretended to be my friend, and then it's like, well, not like you ever invite me to come hang out and go places and do things. And yeah, he took me out to dinner a couple times, and that was about it, but only to suck up and say, well, I need you for this gig coming up next week. We're having a funeral. And yeah, because nobody wants to run sound for funerals.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty sad.
Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, it's just kind of a thing. So right now I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of still trying to forgive certain people. And it's tough when you feel like you have a home church that's everything, and then one person ruins the whole thing. And I don't want to go back because I'm sure he'll be like, hey man, we need you back on the South team again, bro. Like, yeah, so I can deal with your bullshit again? No way.
Well, hey, at least now you can sleep in on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, okay, so tell me this. If I told you you're our top guy and you're really good at sound and I really believe in your talent, but I don't want to give you my cell phone number for like 2 years. Does that make you sound like you're a top guy?
No, it sounds like he doesn't want you to call him.
Yeah, so it's like, what if I have an emergency and need to get in touch with you? Well, email is fine for now. Well, then I helped out with this huge Christmas thing. There was like 50 people in the thing, and there was like 30 singers and tons of shit, man, like a lot. And then, I don't know, he cared more about it then, and then finally gave me his number after 2 years when I was helping with that project. Oh, if there's an emergency, just give me a call. Well, why did it take 2 years to finally get your number? Like, and I'm a top guy. Huh.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of disrespect for sure.
I never felt like a top guy. So anyway, it didn't really bother me that much, but it's just, if you say and do different things, like, do you really feel like you're top guy? No, not really. And if I tell you, no, I don't want to do something, and you're continuing to try to pressure me into doing it more, is that really in my best interest? No.
Right.
And then when I was meeting Timbaland, I actually got the chance to talk to Timbaland on a Zoom call, and the dude acted like he cared. The guy at church acted like he cared about the Timbaland thing, but then when I got into church the same day that he was patting me on the back about quitting and all that, oh, so how was your thing with Dr. Dre? And I'm like, did I tell you that I'm meeting fucking Dr. Dre, dude? I never said that. For one, you didn't even really clearly listen, and plus you sounded very sarcastic about it anyway. So,
is Timbaland known for being a discount Dr. Dre or something?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, he's worked with
Speaking of celebrity encounters, if we want to shift gears a little bit, and I don't know if you remember enough about this to even talk about it, but once upon a time, you did audition for America's Got Talent, and I'm really into reality shows like Survivor and Big Brother, so I always love to hear like the behind the scenes of how it really operates and how they treat the contestants and stuff. My buddy Rusty Cage was actually also on America's Got Talent one time, so I've talked to him about it too, but is there anything from that experience that is worth talking about?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you remember that. So back, in 2012 or 14, somewhere around that time frame, my car broke down, which, yeah, I always had issues with cars and shit, but luckily I have a Mazda now, and it's been really good. I have never had any breakdowns. Well, anyway, I was going to be going down to Chicago to try out for the America's Got Talent thing for my voiceover thing, because I want to do movie trailers and shit. And so, and TV promos and coming up tonight on NBC and blah, 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 shit like that. So
have you gotten any big voiceover gigs that somebody might have heard and didn't even know it was you?
Yeah, I've done thousands of videos around the globe, and so you probably have heard my voice somewhere. Locally around here, I did a Silk, that fake milk.
Oh yeah,
product.
The almond
Silk,
milk.
Almond milk. I did that.
Do they pay you well just to do like, I imagine it takes you like half an hour to do the full ad read, right? How much do they pay for that?
Actually, no. When you're first starting out, it all depends on who you're connected with and if you're knowledgeable. Back then, I was just taking any and every gig I could get, regardless if it was $100 or $5,000. So if you really want good gigs, you need to get national commercials like US Cellular and shit like that, because just local gigs that are shown in your regional area, they don't pay that well. But you know, I still would take a crack at it because it's still getting your voice out there and it's still getting your work out there, and you can still add it to your portfolio and your demos.
Yeah, and
so,
even if it's only $100, I mean, how long does it really take? Like half an hour?
No, it honestly, so the thing that takes a long time is studying on how to become a voice actor over the years and really practicing and practicing. So when you figure out all that, everything just comes natural. So that commercial really only took me like less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
And I was, yeah.
That's some good money then for a 5-minute job. Goddamn.
Yeah, I know. And another commercial too I did literally only took me like 2 minutes. So, and it was good. So
yeah, it's hard to complain about, you know, getting underpaid when you spend less than 5 minutes doing it, right?
I know. So like trying to get a national commercial like a Ford commercial or whatever, they can pay probably like anywhere from $5 grand, 10 grand, up to 20 grand, depending on the specs of the commercial and how many times you gotta, you know, because they change the commercial up and it's a contract. So if they like your voice and they want you on for the whole year, and they're going to come up with 20 different segments of the commercial, then, you know, that all depends on exactly what's all involved. So it's not just a one commercial read and you get 20 grand, you know. So anyway, that's why I wanted to go down there and try out for America's Got Talent, because I thought, well, they're TV producers. They've got to know people in the industry. And so...
So were you going to make connections or to actually try to win? Because America's Got Talent,
no,
the winner gets like a Vegas show, right?
Yeah, I was going to try to make connections more than ever.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, what would a voice actor do with a Vegas show? That seems like it would not, you know, be a hot ticket item.
I have seen a voice actor or two on there, and I think they did cartoon characters, and so
they just did impressions.
Yeah,
but nobody could do Beavis and Butthead quite like Brad Dassey, I assume.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I really I've been trying to tweet Mike Judge every day because, well, I did this thing for my brother Brendan Dassey. I don't know if you've seen Making a Murderer, but if you haven't, you should check it out because Wisconsin is corrupt as fuck. Some crooked cops put my brother away on a false confession, and so anyway, been trying to get him out. He's only 5 minutes away from me at the prison over here, but I did a skit towards the governor of Wisconsin, and I pretended like I was calling him up, and then accidentally got Beavis and Butthead, and they were messing around on the phone for a little bit, and then I called in, and then I just made some on-hold fake skit. The whole thing was just a fake thing. I didn't actually really call anybody. The sound effects are fake and everything is. The phone didn't even work either. So I put all that together in hopes that Tony would hear it. It's kind of a mockery because I've been trying to get Tony Evers, the Wisconsin governor, to try to, you know, give my brother clemency, since there was no DNA evidence. There's no real evidence of anything other than just a fake story that the investigators planted in my brother's head and then got him to say.
Yeah, I have not watched Making a Murderer on Netflix. So can you just explain, what are they saying he did?
You're the only one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, should I actually watch it? Because I heard that like they made a sequel trying to say that they fucked it up.
They did. So I think the sequel, the whole thing is actually really interesting. Honestly, it paints a big story about the corrupt system in Wisconsin, and it tells all these stories about how the cops lied and just kind of filled in the gaps that they didn't know about, and that's how my brother got in quote trouble. And so I don't know. It just, I don't know how you sleep at night making shit up and then putting wrong people in jail.
Yeah.
And so...
How long has your brother been locked up?
Definitely over 15 years. So he's been there since... Yeah, he's been there since he was 16. He's 32 now. So yeah.
When is he supposed to get out?
Well, he has the possibility of parole in 2048.
What?
And so, yeah.
Okay, so some lore from my family is that 2 years before I was born, my dad's brother, so my uncle, who I never got to meet, he was murdered on the street. He was just shot by some guy. And
damn.
like he was, we know it was him, you know, he admitted to it and everything. I think he spent 15 years in fucking prison and he's out on he's free now. And he actually did murder somebody. So how the fuck, how can they throw your brother in there for 50 some odd years?
And he was, and he was 16 at the time.
That is insane.
And a low IQ, and they told him shit like, well, just tell us what we want to hear and we'll let you go back to school and all this bullshit. There's a lot of stupid shit, man. They fucking lied to him. And then in the beginning, he said he wasn't involved. He never knew anything about it. And he kept telling them no. And in the interviews, they kept saying, you're a liar. You're lying to us. And just a lot of shit, dude. Fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, I think maybe I need to actually watch this show, and then I do a different podcast called Is It Kino, where we review like movies and TV shows. So maybe if we end up reviewing that show, would you like to hop on and talk to us about it?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. So Making a Murderer 2 is actually with Stephen Avery's lawyer, Kathleen Zellner, which I've talked to her for like an hour and a half on a call one time, and she told me how the whole thing went down and how my other half-brother was really involved. And he's the one that more than likely did it because he lied in court and also lied with the testimony saying that he saw her leave and then he didn't see her leave. And so it's like, okay, well, your story changed.
Wait, so one of your brothers is locked up and the other one who probably did it is out free?
Yeah.
This is like some Game of Thrones shit.
I know. That's the thing.
Oh, my God.
And so I got to tell you, too, another thing is my ex-stepmom, when I came out and I was talking to Kiss FM and a bunch of other media outlets about how I felt about that, because they were asking me if I think Bobby's the one that did it. And so
now, is this libel or slander for us to say this on this podcast if he has not been convicted?
Because Kathleen Zellner already came out and she said that he's the suspect.
Okay.
So I don't believe it is. And so anyway, my ex-stepmom, which is Brendan's mom, was trying to get a restraining order on me for no reason, just because she wants me off of social media for 7 years. And so when I was trying to talk about how I felt with Bobby and everything, because it's like her story with the computer has changed like 5 or 6 times. So she says that it was in her room, and then it was in the living room, and then it was in his room, and then somebody randomly just walked in off the streets and looked at all this violent porn and crap, and
what?
The fucking story changes. So, and it's been insane. And so people were asking me and stuff if I felt like Bobby could really be the one, and I pretty much believe it, because I think they sacrificed my brother Brendan, who is really slow. He has a really low IQ and he was slow, and I think they sacrificed him for the whole thing simply because they thought, well, okay, he's a slow kid, they'll just let him off, he's only 16, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, way back in 2005 or 6, we were all driving up to go see Brendan in prison, and his mom is my ex-stepmom, by the way, because my parents, stepmom and my dad are no longer married as of 1992, and so anyway, she's nothing, no relation to me, but I just felt like it was kind of shitty that she was lying and trying to get this restraining order on me, saying she felt threatened and that I was going to come and hurt her and her family.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Fucking bullshit. So anyway, yeah, so the courts did not grant her a restraining order. They couldn't find anything other than I called her a bitch on public radio.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah. So anyway, she asked me way back if somebody erases her computer, if all the information is really gone. And I thought,
that's very suspicious.
It is. So,
tell her there's a Vsauce video proving that even if you delete everything, it's still somewhere in there.
I know. So I told her, I said, no, it's still there. They can just recover the stuff back with software.
Uh-oh.
So the shit is still in there.
What, did she, just light her computer on fire at that point, or what?
Well, no, she just fucking let it sit there. And the thing is, that was the most odd question I've ever had in my entire career. And usually when people ask that, they're like, well, I really am trying to get some stuff back because my neighbor clicked on F8 and formatted my hard drive, and now I lost all my shit because they were trying to factory restore it, and I need my pictures for my family back.
Yeah, but she's probably not trying to recover anything. She's probably trying to bury something.
Fucking hide the shit. And so ever since when I started coming out and talking about that, then that's when she got shitty and weird about things and literally like fucking restraining order shit. Like, if you're innocent, why the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah, that just screams guilty as soon as she gets really mad when you say something like that. Like, yeah. I don't know if an innocent person would react that way.
I don't believe so. And so it's just really ridiculous. And in the very beginning, when I would go on the news to talk about my brother's innocence, they would be calling me, her and people on the Avery Salvage would be calling me with blocked phone numbers telling me to get off the news and stop talking to the news and shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't say anything bad. I didn't even talk about the computer shit at that time either.
It sounds like, Brad, I'm not like a great filmmaker, but I have the basic skills. Should we produce Making a Murderer 3 and really blow the whole lid off this whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and when I shared my song that I made for my brother called They Didn't Do It, his mom actually shared it on her Facebook. And then shortly after that, she kept saying that I was only in it to make money and I only wanted my 15 minutes of fame.
You put out the song for free. How are you making money?
I know. And that's the thing. It's still free. It's still free. Even ringtones are free and everything is free. So it's not like I said, hey, buy this song for 99 cents. Like, all my fucking music is pretty much free. So I want to build fans. It's hard to sell music to people that haven't heard about you, you know?
Well, yeah, and I think making an anthem about your wrongfully convicted brother's innocence is not pursuing 15 minutes of fame. That's like pursuing justice. It sounds like she's against the concept of justice.
I know. I don't understand it. And I was fortunate to have my song played on Eminem's Shade 45 and I think it was on MTV back then and a shitload of other channels too. I mean, if you just Google it, it's on everything, CNN and the whole shit. So the Milwaukee Record in Milwaukee, it's like a media company. They had written an article about it. And then after that, it was like boom, boom, boom. And then fucking 10 million other outlets reaching out to me about the song. And it's just like, and then here she is. He only just wants fame. Whatever, bitch.
Yeah, like they were pursuing you. You weren't begging them to play your song.
I know. I didn't call anybody. I didn't fucking reach out to nobody. And so it's like they called me and wanted to chat with me. And I had the opportunity, well, to be on Dr. Phil too. They were going to pay me and everything. And I'm like, no, because I didn't
Oh, you didn't go?
No, I didn't want to start more drama with her. And now I could give a fuck less. If they offered me to come on there, I'd be on there right away. Because back then I was just trying to keep the cool with her so then I could keep the cool with my brother. Because that was pretty much the only way I could talk to him.
Yeah, has she gotten into Brendan's head and like turned him against you?
I think so, yeah, because I think somebody was, I used to email him all the time. I was on this Core Links app, and so it's a special app where you can email inmates and things, and you got to prepay for it, but we were emailing each other all the time, and then I was kind of trying to talk about that computer situation with him, and I found it kind of odd. Yeah, and then he all of a sudden just turned on me right away, like he wasn't hearing, he didn't want to hear the truth about it. And so I didn't believe he really wrote that email because the email sounded very suspicious.
Suddenly all the words were spelled correctly and there was proper punctuation?
Well, no, I mean, just other things.
Oh.
Just, you know, the way that he called me dude. And I remember way back in like 2000 something, 2012, I think. I have a screenshot of Barb commenting on something on my Facebook or somewhere, and she said the word dude and called me dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a smoking gun to me.
And my brother had never fucking used the word dude in any of his emails, because he pretty much copies and pastes the same email that he does to like 25 other people to me, and then he'll personalize certain things, but he's never once called me dude.
Yeah, that's very sus, as the Zoomers might say.
I'm saying, you know, I think it was, and then all of a sudden he was threatening to take me off his email list, and then all of a sudden, shortly after that, he did.
Wait, so when's the last time you actually talked to him?
A couple years ago.
Oh my, wow. You're like the one guy who's still out there fighting for him, making songs about his innocence, and he just completely throws you away. Yeah,
well, I don't think it was really him. I think it was his family, because they screenshotted his email, the entire conversation back and forth, and plastered it all over the internet.
And was it like a bad email, or why were they doing that?
Well, for one, he doesn't have access to putting shit out on the internet, right?
Right.
So I think someone in the family and his family, they would have had to have access to his email to screenshot the entire thing and then put it out there. So
why would they want it out there, though? What are they trying to achieve?
To make me look bad. That I didn't care, that I don't care about my brother, and that I was talking bad about his mom.
Well, it sounds like his mom's a big piece of shit.
Yeah, she is, dude. Fucking bitch.
So you said that you live 5 minutes from your brother. Are you not allowed to go visit him in person and like explain this to him, not through an email?
He can't. He can only have so many people on his email or his visitation list.
And he took you off or something?
Yeah, he took me off way back too, and I think that was the influence of his mom. Because I honestly don't think he would ever take me off himself, ever.
Yeah, I mean, Brad, I honestly, from bottom of my heart, I feel bad for you, because that's rough to have a sibling treat you that way when you've been in his corner the whole time, even when maybe the rest of society was not. And it's pretty sad.
I know, and for his stupid mom to just act weird and suspicious like that. Even before I talked about the computer thing and before I talked about anyone else, I just strictly said how he was innocent and his demeanor growing up and things like that. And still, they were just assholes and didn't want me to talk to the media.
Well, you can say anything you want on this podcast. It's the one bastion of free speech left on the internet. So if there are, any other suspicious things you want to throw out there to piss them off, now would be the time.
Well, if you're so fucking innocent, then why would you call with blocked numbers telling me not to talk to the news about how my brother's innocent?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to intimidate you.
And then one time somebody was like, okay, well, I was trying to get this surprise wrestler up there, and I was in touch with X-Pac, Sean Waltman. Sean Waltman was texting me all the time, and he's like, hey, I got his email or his number from like an agent somewhere. And so I reached out and gave him my number, and then he texted me, and he's like, yeah, I really want to go visit your brother as a surprise and really cheer him up. And I think that would be super cool. And then I was also in contact with Molly Holly as well. And so Molly Holly, I mean, I couldn't really pick who I wanted to go there, but these people just kind of came out of the shadows and heard about my post way back. So anyway, we were trying to get this surprise visit set up, and this is when he was in Green Bay, only a half hour away from home. And so this was back in 2016, I believe. And so, anyway, he magically got moved 3 hours away to Portage County, and that's like over 3 hours away from where he was originally versus the half hour. And so his bitch mom immediately fucking puts on the Facebook that it's me that got him moved because I was apparently, I don't know, belligerent with the prison trying to get this wrestler up there. And it wasn't even anything like that. They made that shit up, and that's not even why he got moved in the first place.
She's using any excuse to make you look bad.
Yeah, and that's been like that for years, this whole time, when I've been trying to fucking advocate for my brother this whole time.
Yeah.
It's been any fucking time. And so he really got moved because once The Making a Murderer came out, then he was getting threatened to be killed because he was getting all this national attention and cards and all this shit in the mail. And the inmates that he was with were getting jealous and pissed off, so they were threatening to kill him. So they had to hurry up and move him on an emergency move, and that was the real fucking reason. Because I called the warden of the Green Bay Correctional and I asked them about that whole thing, and they said, well, the wrestler hadn't even made contact with us. And I even have a voicemail from back then when the chick was like, yeah, let's set this all up. I just need a little more information. Let's have you give me a call back. It's Friday and I'm leaving the office. Why don't you call me next week and we'll get it going? And it was a friendly thing. I was always fucking friendly. I was never fucking belligerent with anybody.
I would not imagine you to be belligerent. I've known you for probably 12, 15 years almost, and I've never known you to be like that.
It was just, and this is why I say she's a fucking complete bitch, because she makes up all these lies and shit to discredit me, and it's not even real.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think, in my personal opinion, she is a fucking bitch. Because honestly, like, why would you make that lie up and then tell the world, hey, now he's moved 3 hours away, and now my dad's pissed off, and everybody's pissed because we got to travel all this extra time and gas to go see Brendan, and it wasn't even about me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a rough journey, because it's just like I've lost a lot of friends and supporters who actually believed their bullshit. And then later on, they come to realize that, they realize the truth later on. So,
do you have forgiveness in your heart for those people when they come back? Or do you say, you know what, you weren't there for me, you didn't believe me, get the fuck out?
No, of course I have forgiveness for them.
You're a better man than me. I would tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, the thing is, they don't really know. And they only see what's on the surface until later on. And so the big thing of it is that everybody reacts really quickly, and then they don't really know the real story, and then I'm getting blocked because, they're putting shit on their Facebook, and then, oh, it's Brad's fault.
Yeah.
It was never my fault. Just like the time when somebody said, well, hey, your dad's struggling financially, let's create a GoFundMe and get some gas cards going for him so he can go travel the 3 hours easier. As soon as I put that out there, and I put somebody had, advised me to start that. It wasn't my idea. It was someone else's. And then his mom right away was getting on the fucking phone, calling him up, saying, tell him to get that shit off there.
They're mad that you were raising money for your father?
Yep, they were.
Yeah. It's like any excuse they can get.
Bullshit.
So,
bitch.
if, let's say hypothetically, the governor or whoever, they actually do the right thing and your brother is freed, do you think you'll be able to, get him back in your life, or would you just not pursue it?
I would definitely wholeheartedly pursue it. I think he would definitely come back.
If you picked him up picked him up when he's getting out, would it be appropriate to play I'm Coming Home on the car ride home?
Yeah.
He might appreciate that.
No, I was going to play They Didn't Do It.
You don't think he's heard it yet?
I know he has heard that one, but I've made 3 songs. So if I'm really in this for fame, I would be making more than 3 songs now since 2016.
Yeah. Especially when the show came out, you really could have just started pumping out, 100 songs a day.
Yeah, so if I was really in it for the money, I'd be making song after song after song about it. So the They Didn't Do It song was an inspiration of someone in a Facebook group saying, hey, your brother wrote the judge a letter. Can you take some of that, what he wrote in there, and make a song out of it? And so I literally tried, and I just couldn't do it because it wasn't really my words and it wasn't really my heart.
Yeah.
And so it was tougher for me to take somebody's words out of a letter and just kind of piece it into a song. So that's when They Didn't Do It was born, and then it just kind of traveled like wildfire, and it has over 200,000 hits on YouTube. And it was on the Investigation Discovery channel as well. It was global. And so they said we want to use like a quick 10-second segment of it in our Stephen Avery Innocent or Guilty thing. And so they had come to my computer office and they recorded me and they put me in there, and it was really cool. It took like 4 fucking hours to set up all this lighting shit.
Just for a 10-second clip?
They had me on camera, but they used 10 seconds of my song.
Oh, okay.
In the same thing, but they had me on camera, and they interviewed me for like 20 minutes, but it took 4 hours to fucking set all the shit up. Just to sit there for 20 minutes to ask me some questions. But it was pretty cool. The people were from Peacock Productions out of New York. And so they were pretty cool.
Well, Brad, I try to keep these podcasts as close to an hour as I can, so I think we should wrap it up sooner than later. But I definitely want to have you on again because I feel like there's a lot more we could be talking about.
Sure thing.
Oh, I'm going to have links to, your big songs and your YouTube channel, but is there anything else you want people to go check out that I can put in the description?
So I just got done redoing my entire website, and I have 70 songs on there, original ones. I also am in the works of getting my stuff on Spotify and Apple Music. And so if you could really help me get my music out there, I'd really appreciate that. There's one song that I really want to go viral, and it has 21,000 hits.
Is it called I'm Coming Home?
No, it's not. It's called Bend It Right Back. And I took a master class with Timbaland, and after that I learned some things and learned how to use my voice more as an instrument. And so I made the song Bend It Right Back, and if you do a Google search on it, you'll find it. But if you could really help me share that out there, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, send me the link, and I'll definitely put that at the top of the description.
especially on Spotify for sure, because it's really growing like wildfire, and I think that could really turn into a legit hit song for real. But no, I just want to thank everybody for listening and just hearing me rant about shit. And you know, you could be doing better things like eating nachos and watching Beavis and Butthead.
Well, once upon a time, I listened to your voice for 24 hours straight. So 1 hour, that's not going to kill anybody.
I know. I still couldn't believe that, dude.
I made over $1,000 that day. Maybe I should just do it again. I think you make me a lot of money.
I kept telling people to donate like $30, and then they did.
Wait, they were donating because of you?
Yeah, when I was on the stream.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I did have a bunch of people call in to help me get through it.
Yes, and I was on there for like a couple hours, and I was telling people, I said, "Hey, just drop $30," and somebody did. You know, like,
I'm gonna have to buy you a fancy dinner if we ever meet up.
Yeah, no, I did it just to see if people would listen and do it, and they did.
Well, if anybody wants to hire you to do voice acting, where should they contact you?
You can go to my voiceover webpage. It's Brad, B-R-A-D, and then V-O as in Victor Octopus, or voiceover. Brad, V-O as in voiceover.com, and then there's a contact thing on there. But yeah, I really have upgraded a hell of a lot of my equipment, and I probably got about 20 grand wrapped into my studio with the whole music thing and voiceover and everything. So.
Well, next time we should record this show on your professional equipment and not on your phone. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. As we say goodbye, are there any final words from Beavis and Butthead?
Do you think we're ever going to explore? Yeah. Like, hook us up with some chick. Not you, Beavis, you dumbass. Shut up, you butt wagon. I want to, like, thank the world for, like, listening to this stuff, because it's, like, cool. Yeah. You're like a dumbass if you're still listening the whole time. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.